Hello and welcome to Behind the Bearcat. This is the podcast where the Northwest Missouri State University Career Services Office chats with Northwest faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends to hear about their career journeys, how they got to where they are, and how they became Bearcats. I'm Northwest Internship Coordinator Travis Klein.
And I'm Hannah Christian, the Director of Career Services here at Northwest. And today's guest on our show
is Guilherme. I'm a student here in Northwest. I'm a pre-engineering major, and I'm also a career ambassador.
Welcome. We kind of call
Yeah.
you Guy. So as the listeners are listening, we're
Yeah,
actually
it's
saying Guy.
easier, right?
It's much shorter, so we can holler it out and about,
Yeah,
right?
True.
So welcome. We're
Thank
super
you, thank
excited
you.
to have you as a guest. Let us just start with, you're obviously an international student, right? How did you
True.
find Northwest? How did you get to Northwest?
So, back home, I started having this point of studying abroad for university in 2017. So I hired like an agency to help me, and as the time goes by, the options were kind of filtering, and Northwest was a good option because I could have like a 2 years for kind of deciding my major because it's a pre-engineer, so I could make sure what engineering path I would take. And it's also like a affordable school. It's a different environment. It's different everything from where I'm from. So it was kind of challenging experience that I was like, okay, I can accept that. It's gonna make me a better person, I guess. Like, and I mean, that was that was basically it, I guess.
So tell us where you're from.
Okay, so I'm from Brazil originally. I'm from the middle of Brazil, and I used to live also in the south of Brazil for like 6 years. So I kind of know a lot of different things in Brazil. But like, ev- I'm pretty sure everything in Brazil is totally different than what is here. So
So you found Northwest,
yeah,
and when did you start this year? Because so if you started looking in
yeah,
2017, there's a whole
yeah,
COVID like
yeah.
weirdness that went on in the middle
Yeah,
there.
because actually in 2017, I was planning on coming here to US playing tennis because I used to play tennis. Unfortunately, the senior year of high school, I got an injury, so I had to give up like the tennis thing and only come here as with academic scholarships. Uh, but I started in 2020 at Northwest, and it was kind of really confused because it was when COVID hit, and I couldn't take my visa at the time because the embassy was closed. So I actually started online in 2020, and I'm currently a sophomore because I also had to take a gap semester because as a pre-engineering, I couldn't take a lot of online classes. So I started 2020 online, and then spring 2021 I couldn't attend college. I had to take the gap semester, couldn't travel, and then I came here August 2021. So yeah,
Wow, that's already like quite the journey just in the first 2 years
yeah,
of
exactly.
college.
So you mentioned pre-engineering, you're on, 2-year track here, and then you transfer somewhere else. So what's
Yeah.
the plan for that? Like, do you know where you want to go, what you want to do yet?
Yeah, I have some ideas. I feel like Florida is a good place for me because, like I said, I'm from Brazil. So, if you don't know, Brazil is really hot. Like the weather here is I would say one of the biggest challenge for me here at the Midwest. And but not only for that, like Florida has a lot of Latin people going to Florida, especially because of the weather. But so the government of Florida offers some good scholarship for Latin people. It's also one of my goals is to get as much scholarship as I can. So I have good options. They have like good engineering schools there. So I'm gonna try. Yeah.
Do you know
What
what
area?
track of
Yeah.
what type of engineering do you want to do?
So I want to do mechanical engineering. I was kind of sure before attending Northwest, but like now I'm 100% sure. I am completely crazy about planes. I don't know why. So uh, I'm like a kid in a toy store. It's me in the airport, so I like it a lot. Uh, and so yeah, mechanical engineering. I could take like uh, aerospace or aeronautic engineering, but like feel like mechanical engineering is more broad, so it's like a backup plan also to work on. So yeah, mechanical
So
engineering.
maybe I don't think a lot of people really realize that we have this pre-engineering program. So can you kind of explain what kinds of classes you're taking here and how that maybe works a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Actually, it's not very common. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that has the same major as I do here, and it works basically every engineering, every field that you gonna choose, you will have to take uh basic classes, so like core classes. So you need to take calc, you need to take chemistry, you need to take physics, and all this kind of things. And it takes a lot of time because you need like go step by step because you need calc 1 to study physics 1, you need calc 1 to study, so it takes some time. And Northwest offer all this basic class for engineers. I think they have like 2 engineers major here, I'm not sure, but it's related to agriculture or something like this. And but they offer all this basic class, so you basically spend 2 years taking all these classes, and then you transfer and you're gonna filter your classes to more specific related to what pathway you're gonna
Toward that
choose.
mechanical
Yeah,
engineering degree.
exactly. So that's how it works here at Northwest.
So what do you hope? So you mentioned loving airplanes. So do you hope to
Yeah.
work like for Boeing or for, a
Oh,
company
that
that
would
makes
be my
airplanes, or what do you want to do
yeah.
with the mechanical engineering?
That yeah, I mean, like I said, I chose mechanical engineering because it's a broad major, so I can actually work in any field. But my dream field is work with planes because I really like it. Um, you mentioned Boeing. It's like a dream working for Boeing. It's like something. Uh, but I don't know yet exactly what I'm gonna do, especially because I don't know if I'm gonna stay here or if I'm gonna come back to Brazil. Uh, I think all of these things gonna depend on my experience, like my overall experience throughout the 5 years of studying. And um, and in Brazil, we have like a big airplane company also, which is like it would be like really good too. So I really don't know yet.
What brought you to career services? Why were you interested in being a career ambassador?
Yes. So since I got here in the US, getting a job was something important for me, especially because the currency difference is kind of high compared to Brazil and United States. So I really want a job, and as an international student, I can only work on campus. So I was trying to find how I could get a job on campus, and one of the first events that I attended was a career services workshop in the beginning of the fall, so I could know how to get a job here. And I found it really interesting. I came to career services to build my resume according to the US standards because Brazilian resume is different. And um, and I started applying for jobs on campus. I applied for a couple jobs on campus, and I was trying to apply for some jobs that I could see myself playing the role. And when the career ambassador opportunity popped up, I was like, yeah, I am pretty sure I can do that. I think I can match all the requirements, and I can do a good job. So I applied. I got it was especially for career services. I came back here to write my resume because I was like, these guys are reviewing my resume. They gonna be like kind of harsh, I guess. And then I tried my best with my resume, with my interview, and applied everything that you guys said in the workshop. I was like, I hope I can get this, and it was. And then I was accepted. It was a win-win situation here.
So I'm assuming that would also be your, kind of tips and tricks, right?
Of
So it
course,
seems a
yeah.
little bit like intuitive, but we really don't see a lot of students who take advantage of our, resources
Yeah.
to then to come back and try to be hired to help other people
Exactly.
work on resumes, right?
Exactly. So like attending all the events, like especially now that I'm career ambassador, that I could actually work on our spring events, I could realize like how much opportunity you can actually get from these events. It's like uh, and not only events but career service itself. So I attended some presentations of networking, of social medias, of resumes and stuff, and I feel like people don't know how far we can get with these things because uh, uh, simply like networking or working on your social medias can get you opportunities, and we cannot actually it's hard to see that if you're not into this environment because we talk about this every day. So for us it seems something that it's there every time but people don't realize. So coming to career services and going to these events and all these things helps you to notice that you can actually like maximize your opportunities just like spending 1 hour of your day coming to career services or 1 hour of your day attending some of our events. So it's uh, it's really nice.
What was your favorite event? We're pretty much all the way through the spring. We still have
Yeah,
PBL Palooza, but what was your favorite event so far?
I think career day was my favorite one, especially because you can walk around in a and it's like a really good environment. You are like chilling, you have no responsibility. You just go there and you actually talk to a lot of people and some important people that can give you opportunities, and you really practice like deeper your networking because speed networking was really cool, but at the same time you feel like you have more to talk, it's really fast. And then at career day you can actually talk to them, and sometimes I was there working but I could talk to some people for like half an hour, I would say, just chatting and getting opportunities. So and then you have like more than 100 employers going there, so it's really nice. You can definitely find someone to talk to.
So you mentioned the weather being probably the biggest difference. What besides the weather, what are some other differences between,
Oh,
Brazil and the US? I'm sure there are many of them.
yeah, there are a lot of them, a lot of them. I mean, I don't even know how to start because
I'll start. We eat too early.
oh my gosh, yeah, that's one thing. So you guys have dinner like 5 p.m. No, the chronological order is like breakfast and lunch, which is basically the same. But then we have a snack or like a I don't know, something around 4, and then we have dinner like 8, 7, or 9, depends on like everyone's routine. But I would say like 8 o'clock is usually the dinner time, and then we have like not only a snack because also difference is we call like sandwiches and hamburgers. This is snacks for us, like, and we call like it's not like the right term I would say, but we call like real food, which is like a piece of meat, vegetable salad, like some carbs, which is potato or pasta or whatever. So we eat this kind of food, yeah, both for lunch and for dinner. So it's also like a difference, and food in general, everything is different. The food tastes different, totally different.
What's
What
something
are
you miss the most?
yeah,
Sorry, Hannah.
that's
Oh,
okay.
I mean, I think of course my family. Uh, that's that's pretty standard. Like, there's no way you don't miss them. The food also because, like I said, I'm just more used to the Brazilian food. I'm not saying that it's better or not. I think it's just a matter of being used to it. And but the weather. So like I said, I come from one of the hottest city in Brazil. Uh, so I'm used to like 89 degrees, 100 degrees. That's fine for me. But like when it goes to 30, and but I also used to live at the beach. I miss the beach a lot because I used to, I don't know, hang out with my friends, just go there, play some sports, just be like outdoor all the time because it's always hot. So wearing shorts everywhere, that's not something that you can actually do here during the spring semester. So
Some people do, but it's not
yeah,
advised.
yeah, but I don't advise anyone to doing that because honestly, I can't. It's I need to wear like 3 or 4 layers, and I'm still like, oh my god! Every time you go inside, you take off layers, and every time you go outside, add layers, layers, and layers, and it seems like it's never enough because you're always gonna feel cold at some part. Something it's incredible.
What is your favorite class that you've taken so far?
Oh, that's a hard question, but I think so. I think I would say calculus too, because I am a math person. Uh, some people don't like, but I mean, what can I do? I like it a lot, and Calc 2 as being because I'm taking it right now, and it has been challenging. So last semester was not that challenging with Calc 1 and chemistry. I think that was pretty easy, but this semester Calc 2 it's been kind of challenging, and um, I like when I have this kind of challenge to solve. I like to solve problems. I mean, math it's all about solving problems.
Mhm.
So I like Calc 2 a lot, but I also enjoy physics. I think the content of physics is super interesting. It's so cool, like understanding how things works. I mean, that's physics, I guess, like the world around us, like why the wind blows the way it winds, why we have these engines, why we have lights, and how waves behave, like everything. I mean, it's just so cool. I really like it. Uh, but physics is it's more like a theoretical approach of it, so it doesn't have like a lot of math. And like I said, I really like math, so I would pick calc.
So we mentioned, using the career services to get a job at career services. What other advice do you have for international students? Maybe folks who are thinking about coming in or thinking about studying in another country. What advice would you give them as someone who's been successful and gone through it?
I think preparation is the key. I think if you can give yourself some time to be prepared, you should. Don't try to rush. I think rushing can cause you a lot of problems, and I always something that I actually struggle and I could realize that it was good. It was like studying about the differences because the process of getting into college in Brazil is totally different, and I'm pretty sure in the other countries they are too. And I hired agent to help me, but even though you have a person helping you, it's really good for you to understand how the process where you're applying works. So I would say for the person, if he has like some university that you're aiming, just go over the website and read everything that you can, and especially if you because it happened to me. I was some terms in English I didn't know in the website. So you need to know like how what they call the things, and make sure you understand it completely. So I think preparation is the key, and after that, it's like a flow. It just goes, and you're gonna succeed in what you're trying to do. But if you don't have like this preparation, if you don't have like this background, it's gonna be really hard. And and I mean, yeah, and you also need to be brave. I would say try to focus on what you want, and don't try like don't try to be affected by like outside things. Focus on what you want, and go for it.
Speaking of, like terms that you didn't understand on the website, how long did you study English or how long have you known English? Tell us about your English language learning experience.
Okay, yeah, that was actually really tough for me. 'Cause like I said, I'm a math person, so usually we are not good at the two things, or it's either math or language. Like, if you are, congrats, because this is really hard. But and I'm a math person, so I started studying English when I was 9, I would say. Um, and in Brazil, we have like English schools because the English that they taught us in school is not really good, so you actually need to pay like extra money for English. Um, but I was really young, and I studied until I was 13, I guess, and I learned some vocabulary, like how English sounds, because you have like this feeling, it sounds right. I had that, and I knew a lot of words, but I didn't know anything about grammar at all. Like my grammar was not good, and I stopped studying English when I was 13 because I didn't like it. Like I said, it's just my nature. And then, um, but then in 2017, when this opportunity of coming here appeared to me, I was like, I need to study English, and I need to take tests like TOEFL and SAT to come here. So I decided to start studying, and for 2 years I was like, I just need to study for these tests. I don't actually need like study English. I would say I'm not like the conversational English, because I need to pass the test first, and after that I'm gonna be concerned about talking. So I was studying for these tests, and I thought I could do it by myself, but I didn't realize that I couldn't, because my scores weren't increasing. Uh, and when I was 18, I hired a personal teacher um, to help me, and then I could get all the scores that I need, and I actually started improving my talking along with my grammar and everything. So, but it was not easy. I need to be honest. There was one of the I think it was like the biggest academic challenge I've ever had, learning English, because, like I said, I am not good with grammar. I'm not good with language. Like, I struggle a little bit, and then it took me some time to learn it, to understand a lot of things, especially understanding that the way people in other countries, they communicate different. So English is a tool, but it's not the same tool as Portuguese, just translating. That's not how it works. You guys think different when using words, and you use words in a different way. So when I understood that I could easily getting better at English, and come here, right?
That's a very interesting.
Uh-huh.
I think people who have never had or tried to learn another language, because I would say I would have put myself in your shoes, right? I went to Mexico and learned Spanish, and it was difficult, and my brain hurt all the time.
It does.
But understanding, I think that's a really good key insight. Understanding that just because you know English doesn't, it's a tool, it's not communication itself. There are lots of other ways to communicate
Yeah.
other than, I was like, I pointed a lot and used a lot of hand gestures to try to communicate, right? Because I didn't have maybe the words. So I think that's a really interesting, really interesting piece of insight.
Yeah, yeah, exactly like I said. You're gonna find a way to communicate, and then when you realize that the way you communicate is different from one language to another language, it you can start like putting yourself in the other people's shoes and say, oh, they see this word like this, so that's how I'm gonna use this. And you kind of like, this makes sense. And you sometimes you're gonna say, no, this doesn't make sense at all. It's like this. I can't believe you guys do, but you learn, you simply learn.
So you have to help students with their resumes. So this is also a great English language sort of like challenge because,
Yes, it is.
as you said before, resumes in different countries are different. And then you're speaking in a different language, maybe even to someone from a completely different country who maybe English is also not their first language.
Exactly.
So, talk about, as a career ambassador, has it helped your communication skills? And if
Oh,
so, how?
It definitely helps your communication skills because um, every time you want to be prepared to give the best feedback you can. So you need to understand the terms and everything that you want to pass uh, through, and then you need to make sure you're like saying in a way that people will understand. So, like you said, sometimes we receive international people. It's even harder because you're like used to what Americans would say, and then you're like, maybe this person won't understand what I'm trying to say right now. So you're trying to communicate different, and then it definitely helped like my communication skills. I also give tours here. I give one presentation as well. So you're like challenging yourself to um, say in a way that everyone's gonna understand. And I mean, it's always like an exercise, a practice for your English, for your communicating. So yeah,
It's a
definitely.
practice for our English
Hmm.
as well, and English is our first language.
Yeah, exactly. Uh,
All right.
Anything else? Yeah, anything else you would share with a student or with anybody, maybe? Any wise
ah,
words?
wise words. You, I think everyone is wise words, right? Everyone is capable of doing what you want to. If you at some point thought that you can do it, it's because you can do it. So I mean, you should go for it. You should try your best and try always to focus on what you want. I think that was the key for me to come here. That was the key for keeping me here, like keeping studying and everything, because this is a challenging, like I feel like it can say for every international student, it's not easy for us to change it like totally our culture, our environment, leave our family, and all this kind of comfortable, like break these comfortable zones that we used to. It's not easy, but like I said, if you focus, if you have this in mind, if you set this properly, you can definitely do it. And I also you don't need to do it by your own. So you have like different ways for you to uh, get some help, and career search is one of this tools, one of this help. So and uh, everyone is like uh, seeking for a job after graduation and all this kind of thing. So career search is the right place for you to come and get some help because everyone here is fully prepared to help you in every career issue. So if you come here, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be one step ahead of the other people to have a best chance. You know.
Awesome. Yeah, that was
Excellent.
great advice.
Mm. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for
All
inviting me.
right. Well, that will do it for another episode of Behind the Bearcat, and we'll talk to you next time. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget that you can find the audio version of the podcast on your podcast platform of choice. New episodes come out every Friday, and you can connect with us on social media on both Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for joining us for Behind the Bearcat, and we'll talk to you next time.